Over the last 13 years, Tyson has trained multiple times for full planche. Every time, it has ended in failure. At 32 years old, he nears the end of his athletic peak.
Like this grey. I even have the little wisp that billionaires get. You look like Mr. Sheffield.
And will train to achieve the skill one last time. This is his final journey under full planche. This is the planche.
It feels super weird holding it again like this. Looking to document this whole full planche journey. The ups and the downs, because I don't know what's going to happen. Injury, success, how soon, how long. Don't know. All I do know is I've been trying to get this skill for a very long time. It's a very difficult skill for someone with my height, weight, and proportions. It's going to require a methodical approach that prioritizes recovery time. The goal for this first video is to get these bands here, where I'm using the yellow and the green, slightly separated for more tension, getting 12 seconds in that position. Pre-workout at the moment is this Ghost pump mixed with some electrolyte powder. I'm getting coached for this training block by Andrew, who I did another video with on Iron Cross that you guys can check out. Planche today was perfect technique, stopping before I break that excellent quality form. This was followed by accessories, and that's 20 kilos for the dips and me debuting my new street lifting dip technique, which still feels weird to not go that full range of motion for everything all the time. Bands to warm up the shoulders and elbows are just one of the ways I prep for a planche workout. It initially started from that Yuri Van Gelder warm-up sequence, but it's gradually become a little bit watered down for my own benefit. Same aim for planche today, but ramping up to 6 sets instead of 3, which we did last session. I'm currently phasing in Andrew's coaching for planche, so these ring rows with the added 5 kilos and this support hold are my own additions to the program. The rows are for some needed pulling work to balance out all the push, and the support holds are to build back some straight arm strength. And these external shoulder rotations to finish off the session, they're great for general shoulder health, but I've added them due to my shoulder injuries. The most recent being bursitis in the right shoulder that's been there since March this year, but it's slowly been improving. It's not causing any problems with the planche training so far. All right, so session wrapped. Pretty happy. I did 6 sets. Set 4 and 5, I think, were in my head counting 12 seconds, but I think they're actually closer to a 10-second. Getting stronger, feeling better. This workout split of like a 4-day break in between each session is working well for me currently while I'm building that capacity. I'm actually keen for summer. I love colder weather for fashion, for eating out and all that kind of stuff, but when it comes to training, being warmer is better. One thing I was thinking of that could be of a concern is the amount of lean on the wrist. Now, last time I did this stuff, the amount of lean caused an overuse injury in the wrist. So I'm just very conscious of that. If it starts to feel like too much on the wrist, then I'll start to elevate the P-bars or have them at a decline. So I can still get that lean, but it takes that stress off of the wrist. Day 7. The main takeaway from today's planche session was to breathe. I'm so used to high intensity, max 5-second bursts of effort where I don't need to breathe. So holding it for 12 seconds has a greater demand that I allow some oxygen to flow. And so Andrew was on the side giving me some friendly reminders today. Accessories, everything went good. I'm just adding weight for the dips, went up to 30 kilos, and I'm adding reps, keeping a body weight for the handstand push-up and the pull-ups. I then did Zenity press 5 kilos for 10 reps for elbow conditioning, and then IYT as my shoulder specific work to round out the session. This is the day where I'm aiming to get my first goal of this series, which is a 12-second
full planche hold on the bands the way they're set up since I started this doing full planche. I'm feeling pretty confident. Body language, I'm feeling pretty confident that I'll get it 1 or 2 warm-ups and then I'll get into the full planche position. But as of before doing it, I feel pretty confident I'll get it today.
Couple notes as my training evolves. Andrew's introduced this triceps primer exercise. It's 3 different arm positions for me to lift 3 kilos 20 times with a 5-second hold at the end, preparing the triceps for the demands of planche to lock the elbows straight. I've personally just introduced these tuck slides as a way to do the planche without doing the full planche. It's just a warm-up with a easier to achieve planche position. And then I've made the P-bars a little bit wider. They used to be about shoulder width apart, now they're a little bit wider than that.
First one was good, solid 12, but a little bit high, so I've got to bring it down a touch. Second one is still high, so I need to bring it down, whether that's leaning more or just pushing the hips down into the ground a bit more. Protraction, I don't know if it's 100%, so I'm going to take the singlet off and have a look on the 3rd set. Otherwise, it's still feeling really strong. Nice, so that 3rd one felt really good as well. The main thing I'm looking for is that I'm not losing that depression and protraction of the shoulders. To me, that would be the main tell that I'm fatigued or I'm not strong enough to hold this position. In a good way, I'm thinking that the fact I'm raising up a little bit, like I started the first 2 high, is showing that I'm getting strong enough, or it's too strong for the double band, because what is my normal strength is now pressing me a bit too high, so I need a bit less assistance so I can sink a bit further down. Another 12 seconds, really confident I'm going to hit the 12 today, which is awesome. I'm on track. Nice, so that was the first goal complete for this little planche block, the 12 seconds for 5. Even though that's awesome, the only thing I'm thinking about is how much is going to change once the bands go less. So I've gotten used to this setup for full planche, and just as a test I did a sneaky advanced tuck planche with no bands, or just kind of leant into it, and the intensity felt so much different. So I just got to be careful not to get my confidence up that, oh, I'm doing full planche, when you're assisted with 2 bands.
Finish this workout with the same exercises you saw last week, the weighted ring rows with an extra 5 kilos, ring supports still staying around 30 seconds, and then the 5 kilo weighted shoulder external rotation. Rainy day today, and the gym is going under some construction, some renovation, so it was messy, it was noisy, but none of that mattered because I had Starburst flavored C4 pre-workout. And then I just quickly did this little setup just to show you guys how you can measure your bands, as it's not like perfect, but it's a way you can have a look. This is a 22.5 kilo dumbbell, and you can see it still sits a little bit higher than where my hips are in planche. So you're looking around about 25 kilos of assistance with my current setup. I expected to feel a bit weaker today given there was a goal session in the previous session, so all that was accounted for with that 11-second hold. Feeling pretty difficult but achievable for just 3 sets. In between the sets, I played around with this pulley system I'm trying to get working. If I can get it to work well as the band's competition, you're looking at a better way to measure your progress with dumbbells rather than the vagueness of a band. Also vacuumed the floor and prepped for classes that evening. And the only accessories I could fit in was the handstand push-up against the wall, which I got for 10 repetitions, and I went to 40 kilos on the dips as spurred on by Andrew. I wouldn't be confident to do that on my own. I don't think I'm ready yet. But he told me to do it, so I did it. Yeah, that's how it works. Had to come in the next day and finish off the session with 10 bodyweight pull-ups, 5 kilo 10 reps of Zanetti press, and then the banded external rotation. Stay tuned, this full planche is well on its way to being part of my DNA.